Hi folks, today we're going to review Imhotep by Kosmos Games.
We've had Imhotep for a while now, and it's pretty consistently a game that we like to pull out at parties. It's a pretty good game for new players. It just barely passes the mother-in-law test. And it's also a lot of fun as a two-player game.
So it's a 2 to 4 player game. I think games run about half an hour to 40 minutes.
Yeah, somewhere
so
around in there.
Quick pace, and the idea is that you are the builders of Egypt. So you're building various things. You have different colored blocks. You each pick what color block you're going to be.
And you place those blocks on boats, which then sail into the city. And depending on where they land, you can go to the marketplace, or you can build the pyramid, or you can build an obelisk or a tomb, and different things like that. This is a game that has a lot of strategy to it, and also there's no one strategy that you can stick with, because it's a straight up PvP. You are playing against the other person, actively trying to screw them over in order to get the most points, which sounds like the kind of games we usually review that I really don't like. But Imhotep is one that I enjoy a great deal.
And I think part of that is that you are not like battling the other player.
Oh, right.
So your turn, you can get more blocks, you can place blocks on boats, or you can sail boats. And that's where it comes into, especially with the sailing the boat, multiple players will place their blocks on those boats, but you don't know who's going to be the one to get to sail it first.
Yeah, and those are your three options. You can only do one thing, right? And so you're always trying to decide what it is that you want to do. At the start of each round, you draw a special card that tells you which 4 size of boats you're going to get, either 5, 4, 3, or 2. And there are 5 different docks that it can go in. So this is one of those games where you always have more options than you're going to actually use. And Imhotep does that really well. And yeah, just like you were saying, you could put 3 blocks on a boat because you really want to build the pyramid up. But on my turn, I could sail that to the temple. And now you get to place all 3 of yours there, but maybe that's not where you really wanted your points, and maybe it kind of screws you over, or it screws someone else over in a 3 or 4 person game.
Because they wanted to go to that dock, and now they can't.
It's just that idea of the strategy behind this is you're trying to load up the boats with as much of your stuff as you can, but also you're not always the one that gets to decide where they go.
So it is fun trying to anticipate what the other players are going to do. I try to do that to try and figure out which boat do I want to put my thing on, because I think they're going to want to send this to this place. And you can't have super long-term strategy with this. It is very much trying to think maybe 1-2 turns ahead, and that's probably it.
Yeah, you gotta be flexible. When I play, I rarely ever choose to go to the marketplace. Maybe that's why I don't win a lot, but it's not a place that I go to very often. But there's been 1 or 2 games we've played where other people keep sending the boats that have my stones on them to the marketplace, and I actually ended up doing pretty well because I was able to buy a lot of cards that let me do things or be a point multiplier or something like that. The scoring system's also really cool.
Yeah, so some of the locations you go to, you score at the end of each turn. But there are a couple that you wait until the very end, and then there are also the multipliers of... Sorry for our neighbor's dogs.
Puppies. Yeah, puppies.
You score multipliers for how many pieces do you have in the obelisk. The obelisk is also a fun one because it's whoever has the highest.
Yeah, that one's actually, that's kind of my favorite.
We've definitely had a few where I'm like, how high can we go before it topples?
That one's a neat one. What I like about that scoring system is there's a lot of things that you're trying to keep in mind. Your strategy, everyone else's strategy. What cards do you have? Where do you have pieces? How many points do you have? And sometimes you're trying to think of too many things at once, and someone can really come from behind at the end of the game because, we forgot they had the obelisk, or we forgot about this. and all of a sudden they've got a lot more points than you thought they were going to.
Yeah, and throughout the game, because you are scoring certain things each round, it does feel like a very close game.
Mm-hmm.
And even if there's somebody that comes ahead one round, oftentimes you catch up. I don't find the games that we've played that there's been like, oh my gosh, this person's so far out in the lead that there's no chance of catching up.
Yeah.
Because you're having your blocks maybe sent to places you didn't plan on, but hey, you get points for it anyhow.
Yeah, you almost are always gaining points at some place. So yeah, there's never that moment where you're like, well, there's probably 20 minutes left of this game, and there's no way I'm going to be able to do well at all.
I like that on all of the locations, they do have reminders of what that location is, how it's scored. So that's nice that you don't have to keep pulling out the rule book. Most of the time, after we played it the first time, we don't even need to touch the rule book because it's all there on the game elements.
The inside of the box is just one big open pit where you throw the Ziploc bags full of stuff. So, for a game all about design, the inside interior of the box could maybe be designed a little bit better. One thing
I do like is that the inside of the box does look like a archaeological site.
That is neat.
So that it's dug down. Like, that's just a cool design
absolutely.
aspect.
That's very clever. And 2 years ago, we picked up the play mat, which is nice. You don't need it, but for an extra like $10 or $15 or something like that, it's a nice accessory to have.
Yeah. There's also a 2-player only version of Imhotep.
Called Duel.
That we did see it at Gen Con, and we thought about picking it up.
Yeah.
We decided to spend our Gen Con money on other games because it seemed similar enough to the way that the 2-player version of Imhotep already plays.
Yeah.
There are some new mechanics that get added in, but... if you've played it, let us know.
Or if you're with Kosmos and you want to send us a copy to review, let us know. It definitely is a sort of a new game, but it didn't seem so drastically different. So we just decided to wait and grab it a different time.
Mm-hmm. But this has consistently, since we've gotten it, been a game that we have pulled out and played when it's like, hey, we've got like half an hour before we're going to do something, let's pull this game out, or a nice warm-up game for a game night because it is only up to 4 players. When as people are starting to show up, and it's like, okay, well, we've got 2 more people that are going to be here in an hour. We can play at least 1 round, maybe even 2, because it does move pretty quickly. And I like that the turns, because there's only 1 action, it's a fast-paced game. You aren't waiting forever for somebody to finish up their turn. Oftentimes it's, oh shoot, it's my turn, sorry.
No. And it is also nice because the turns are simple, the rules are very straightforward and easy to follow. So it is a game that, yes, it's a strategy game. It is a competitive game, but it's also a game where you can easily be getting up to grab a snack. You can be chatting about a movie that you just saw, all of that kind of stuff. It's very intuitive, and it's a good social lubricant game. So yeah, it's always great at the beginnings of your game night parties. That's Imhotep by Kosmos Games. It's one of the games that we've had for a long time, really love to play. We like to introduce it to new people, and it's something that we pull out whenever we've just got a little bit of free time. Is it one that you've played? Do you have a favorite strategy? Is there an area of the board that you always try to control and that works out for you? Let us know in the comments below. We'd love to hear what you have to say.
A big thanks to all of our patrons, especially Alicia. If you want to support our channel, you can head over to our Patreon page and check out the perks of being a patron. If you enjoyed this video, hit that like button and share it with a friend, and don't forget to subscribe. We make videos here every Tuesday and Thursday, and that way you won't miss any of our upcoming ones. All right, until next time, I'm Dawn.
And I'm Ryan.
And this is Roll for Initiative.
Bye.
Thanks for watching.
Yeah.